we are on the road to Super Bowl 50. And here's a memory for you. Willie McGinnis played in 4 Super Bowls with the Patriots, winning 3 of them. Making plays. And tonight recognized as a member now of the Patriot Hall of Fame. Just a moment ago, Robert Kraft there to welcome what he calls Willie his firstborn. He was
that's right.
His first Patriot draft pick out of USC back in 1994. Willie doing a lot of great television work and also doing a lot for youth football out in Long Beach, California.
Yeah, great ambassador for the game. There's no question. Maybe he spurred his Patriots team on tonight because what do you say except total domination? Miami's offense can do nothing. They're not making a play that even gets close to scaring this Patriots defense that's is attacking all night long. So they got to make some plays and back them up.
All right, let's take a State Farm look at this. A little double check. Highlight from the first half presented by State Farm. Brady to Gronkowski. That opening drive really fueled too by that screen pass on a 3rd and 16 to Dion Lewis. Lewis just, I think, was the real difference maker in this first 2 quarters of action.
It's amazing, isn't it? We'll look at the first half stats, but think of Dion Lewis. They lose Shane Vereen. Oh, wow, one of the best running backs that catches the football out of the backfield and outside. And Dion Lewis steps in and has done a terrific job. How about the total yards? You know, it's big, of course, for the Patriots, 241. But the Miami defense was on the field the whole time. Their offense never gave them a rest.
There's Landry back on the in line. He had 4 catches for 38 yards in the first half. At half of the Dolphin total yardage, 76 yards. That's all Miami could muster. And now Gostowski will put it on a tee here, as it's been all New England so far. Miami played it here at Gillette last December, and it was a similar type game in that New England dominated on that occasion, winning by 4 touchdowns. Second half is underway with the expected touchback, and we're going to take it right down to the sideline. Tracy, it's all yours.
Well, thanks, Jim. Dan Campbell wants his impact players to step up. He wants more production on 1st and 2nd down, and he wants his offense to stop shooting themselves in the foot. He said that he told them in the locker room, keep pounding the rock, do not lose hope. There's a whole half left. They're still in this game, and remember, this is the first time they've faced adversity under Dan Campbell as a head coach, Jim.
And adversity as well on that offensive line. Jawan James with a toe injury early on. He has not returned to the lineup here to start this first drive of the second half. It's Tannehill, middle of the field, and he's got Landry. That's what we saw right at the very end of the first half. That's good for 15 more.
Well, that was a good play to start the second half to get some confidence for Landry and Ryan Tannehill. They usually make that fake, and the wide receiver goes across the field. That time, Jarvis Landry stopped, broke back outside. Tannehill on the money.
Landry, who had 2 touchdown catches against the Texans last week and had 84 receptions last year as a rookie, a banner rookie class of receivers a year ago. He had the 2nd most catches of the rooks. Good time for Tannehill, and he gets it to Miller. Lowers his shoulder and runs into Ryan after 8 or 9.
Well, nice safe throw by Ryan Tannehill, but you know, when you get chances like this, watch the seam go up here. You know, they're going to do it, send them vertical, and they got the shot they want. But early in the second half, you're trying to build confidence. So Ryan Tannehill playing it safe. Can't blame him, gets a completion.
He's connected on his last 5 passes. And he's got a 2nd and 2. There's Miller. He gets pushed ahead. Might have even been a little help by Duron Harmon, the safety for the Patriots, pushing him forward. First down for the Dolphins.
Well, how about this run defense? We said it many times. Why do you even try to get outside? They smother that. And every time they've done it, look at the what you call setting the edge. And they do it. It's preached to them constantly about Matt Patricia and Bill Belichick, and they do it very well.
Last week, Miami had 6 rushes of at least 10 yards. Big gains. So far tonight, they have 13 yards on the ground for the evening. Down the field, open, and dropped. That was Kenny Stills. It certainly could have made a difference here on this drive to try to change the momentum. Would have been near the 20-yard line.
Well, it's a perfect throw. Kenny Stills is probably their speed receiver, the guy they like to get down the field. At the very last second, Jim, you can see he takes his eyes off the football because he sees the safety coming over, and it allows Coleman to knock it out.
We're now receiving word from the Dolphins sideline that Jawan James is out for the rest of the game. Hightower blitzing. Miller picked him up, and Tannehill got the throw away just barely. And again, this time it's Stills. After the drop on the previous play, this time he holds on and picks up 23.
Beats Patrick Chung, going to come across the field. They cross the receivers. And boy, Ryan Tannehill hangs in there, takes a hit, and puts the football right on the money.
That was a tough throw to make, wasn't it?
It was, and tight coverage, but tough to stay with receivers when they're crossing the field, and the defensive back sees the other receiver, his teammate, slows him down just enough to create that separation.
They've got the rookie first-round receiver. You may have seen him in there. Devontae Parker in. As Tannehill flushed out on the run. He launches downfield, and it's caught at the 2-yard line by Jordan Cameron.
Well, nice job, really great job by Ryan Tannehill getting outside the pocket, and something that he does very well, throwing on the run. And Chandler Jones gets caught inside, allows him outside, and he makes that motion take off. Boy, beautiful spiral, great technique.
And first catch of the night for Cameron. Chung got a little nicked, and I got to tell you, so did Brandon Albert, the left tackle. Chung comes out, and the Dolphins have a 1st and goal to go from the 2. It's Miller. Miller powering ahead. Looks like he's across, and he is for the touchdown.
Boy, great read by Miller that time. Patient enough to see the block and get between, or get to the right of the center.
Well, that's a little change in attitude from the first half, isn't it?
It sure was. You think, oh, they're going to not make this work because you saw the drop pass by Kenny Stills, but what a move by Ryan Tannehill. Hey, look, when he's had time, he's thrown the football well. He's thrown the football well all year long when given time.
He was 4 out of 5 on that drive, was Tannehill, for 75 yards, and then Miller takes it the final 2 to put Miami on the board. Extra point is good.
Well, Dan Campbell said, I want my playmakers to make some plays, and we saw it on that drive.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
In the first 3.5 minutes of the third, they exceed their yardage total from the first half, and they matched the 5 first downs they had in the first 2 quarters. And Miami shows a little life offensively for the first time.
That'll make that defense back up and think a little bit after that drive. They won't be in attack mode like they were in the first half. It seemed like every play.
Hey, since 2000, AFC East head coaches, Campbell the 8th for Miami. Ryan becomes the 8th for Buffalo. And of course, he's 1 of 5 for the Jets since 2000.
And there's the lone man.
Yep. With his 4 Super Bowl titles, matching Chuck Noll. Brady, of course, with just only 1 NFL head coach and just 3 offensive coordinators his entire career. Charlie Weiss, Bill O'Brien, and Josh McDaniels for the 2nd time around. It's Lewis. Look at him again, slip out of tackles.
Unbelievable.
Pick up 11 or 12. He hadn't done anything rushing the football. 2 carries, no yardage in the first half, but that's his best run after a big first half catching the football.
Well, you just watch. You don't have to say anything. Try to tackle him when he's out here in the open space. Screen play, wide, lines up as a wide receiver. Then, of course, not covered. But the one thing Bill Belichick says about Dion Lewis, he's not just a little gimmick guy. He goes, if we put him in the backfield, he's good enough to run the football in between the tackles.
False start. Number 71 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, these running backs catching the football. Kevin Falk, who was here for so many years and contributed on those championship teams. Danny Woodhead and Shane Vereen, of course, off to the Giants this year. Dion Lewis. Got to think he's the quickest of them all, Phil. Here's Brady's pass. Nice catch. Reaching down for it is Gronkowski. Stopped about 3 yards short of the first.
Yeah, I think he is. He's definitely the quickest of all and maybe the most versatile when you talk about all those running backs. Watch Tom Brady lead Gronkowski past the linebacker. He knew he was in trouble, softened up with the throw, and Rob Gronkowski ran right into it.
2nd and 3. Here's Lewis. Look at the cuts he's making and has the first down. He went to Pitt, following in the footsteps of LaShawn McCoy, ended up with the Eagles and played behind him, learned so much from his buddy. Played there for a short while and then went to Cleveland. He had a broken leg in the second preseason game back in 2013, and here he is.
Well, we talked about him, a couple weeks ago. I think the Patriots have had their eye on him for quite a while. They finally had a chance to get him into camp. A little hurt during the preseason, but once he got healthy, they have found how to use him.
Back to Blunt. Nice job by Jelani Jenkins turning around and running right into the ball carrier. Watch original NFL shows and catch what is trending around the league with the all-new NFL Now. Watch on NFL Mobile, your connected TV devices, or go to NFL.com/now.
You talk about this Patriots team and just think of all the different offenses and different style of players we've seen. The big receivers throw it down the field. Then it was, power running when they first started. And then now we see small receivers, different types of running backs. Just a creative offense.
2nd and 9. Gronkowski for another first. Gronkowski's 5th catch of the night, over 80 yards total, and a touchdown.
And you say, oh, the first thing we're going to do when we play the Patriots, we're going to take away Rob Gronkowski. That is so easy to say and almost impossible to do unless you have the guy that can cover him one-on-one at all times. And that's tough because he lines up everywhere, he goes in motion, and he's so big, even if you cover him, he'll just push you off.
First down from the 38. And the Patriots just picking up big chunks of yardage on their first possession of the second half. Another 9 that time.
Making it look easy. They're trying some different stuff on the defensive side. Earl Mitchell that time, the inside defensive lineman, dropped back as the middle linebacker. Tom Brady. They've done so many crossing routes in his career. Watch number 90 get back there. Big Earl Mitchell. He's big, but not much of a defender in the pass game.
2nd and not even a foot. Trying to get it with Blunt. And he's going to just bull ahead for the first. 4-yard gain for Blunt.
Well, many styles they can play, right? When you watch it, screens, quick passes, play action. Give it to Dion Lewis, and let's bring in one of the biggest running backs in the league, LeGarrette Blunt.
And now hurry up on this first down snap. Blunt gets into the secondary before the safety is run over, but gets credit for the tackle. Jones holds him to 9.
Rashad Jones sees it, does a great job of getting in the proper lane to stop it from being even a bigger gain.
It's Blunt again, and he has grabbed around the shoulder pads and stopped for no gain. As again, it's Jones in on the tackle along with Earl Mitchell. He got a 3rd down, and they've gone to this hurry-up approach.
It is always when we do a game up here, wherever we do a game with the New England Patriots, the #1 fear of every defensive coordinator, because they're afraid they won't get lined up in the proper spots, leave somebody uncovered. No matter how you practice it, it's hard to be ready for it when the action is real.
3rd, they really need about 2 here. Brady steps up, And incomplete. Pocket was collapsing and ended up trying to ditch it to LaFell, and they'll have now Gostowski come out and try to set the record alone for most consecutive field goals made in Patriot history.
Coverage was good at first. Edelman, he tried to move in the pocket to throw it. You know, they had 8 hurries on Tom Brady, this defense did in the first half. That's all you can expect regarding, you know, the fact that they run so many different type of plays.
So now for the record, for 26 consecutive makes. From 36 out, Gostowski's kick, dead center. He has the record now. And by the way, that's 49 straight makes at home. Crazy numbers. 22-7. And Gostowski and the Patriots, the margin is still 2 scores. That's a win for the Miami defense in the end.
Absolutely.
Holding him to 3. This one is going to be returned. From the goal line, it's Landry. And he stopped short of the 20. It's Ebner again with a special teams tackle. Freeney got there also. Let's see if Miami's offense can continue the roll we saw the last time they had the football. New England scoring on his first drive of the second half for the 7th time in the 7 games this season. Every third quarter, first drive, they put up points. 3 touchdowns, 4 field goals. Now the Dolphins come out. A little throw over to Miller. He's got 4 or 5 yards with that one. What did you see out of the Dolphins that was different in that last drive from the first half?
They went down the field with the football in man-to-man coverage and made some plays. But here was the play of the drive. You would hope if he gets the opportunity, Ryan Tannehill, he would break the pocket to try to create plays just like that. I know this. The coaching staff, they do not discourage him from running. If you see a gap, take off, look down the field. The receiver's got enough speed to break away if you give him a second move.
Out of the gun with a pair of tight ends, Sims and Cameron. And a whistle.
False start. Number 14 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
By the way, Week 8 continues Sunday morning live from London at a special time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox. And then check your local listings for the 1 o'clock set of games on CBS and Fox, including San Diego at Baltimore. Congratulations to Phillip Rivers and his wife Tiffany. Their little baby girl Claire was born last night to that great family. Here's a 2nd and 11. Tannehill steps up, throws. He's got Landry for a first down. Nice block by Deion Sims on Ninkovich.
Yep, kept him on the outside, allowed Tannehill to step up and make the play. And again, they run a lot of routes across the field. I think New England's expecting those crossing routes and a good misdirection route, and Ninkovich gets a hit on the quarterback. But nice job. You want your star players to make the play. That's Jarvis Landry is at the wide receiver position is one of them.
Yeah, he's got 6 catches for 71 yards. And a new set of downs back over to Matthews. Well, Dan Campbell, one of a number of former tight ends in the league who went on to become head coaches like the great Mike Ditka, Mike Tice, Ken Wisenhunt. He comes from a little town in Texas, Morgan, Texas. Family owned a ranch where he'd helped herd 100 head of cattle. Went on to Texas A&M to play, drafted in the 3rd round by the Giants back in '99. He thought he was going to be their start tight end. A few years later, they drafted a guy named Jeremy Shockey. Draw play to Miller. And just a couple. Came into the league, it looked a little bit like the Clay Matthews of his time.
Yeah, it's
and they
good look.
5 years as an assistant, primarily as the tight end coach. Now the head coach, and again the youngest in the league at 39. He went from the Giants after Shockey came on board, went to the Cowboys, thought this is going to be my chance. Then they go and draft a guy named Jason Witten. His first NFL touchdown catch was as a member of the Giants against Tennessee off the hands of Kerry Collins. His first win was coaching against Tennessee. Here's a 3rd and 1. And look at the Patriots step up. And it's Salinga on Miller right away. And the Dolphins drive comes to an end.
Watch him go this way. Hicks, Salinga, they just can't block them as they slant, get up the field. They were slanting to the offense's right, and Miami couldn't make the blocks. That was a big stop for the Patriots, and more importantly, an awful miss by the Miami Dolphins offense.
You take Lamar Miller, he had that 175-yard effort on the ground, and he only played the first half against Houston. He's got only 15 on the ground tonight on 9 carries. Though one of them went for a touchdown. That's not what they were asking Dar to do right there. Fly it into the middle of the end zone for a net of 38. Patriots up 22-7 in the 3rd. We are just a couple of nights away from the candy chase. Trick-or-treating, and this video courtesy of Gronk's father, Gordy here, Throwback Thursday. It's Rob at the age of 5 during a kindergarten celebration in Williamsville, New York. And look at the hands back then.
Yeah, that's right. And did you see not the anger, but the force he was trying to hit that with? So what's the old saying? If they bite when they're young, they're going to bite when they're old. Tough football player with great hands.
And he had the size advantage at 5 also.
It's amazing he was 5.
It's in a slot to the left on 1st down. Brady looks across the middle, and it's off the fingertips of Scott Chandler. And again, next Thursday, a reminder, we've got the Browns at the Bengals. Will Cincinnati go into that game still unbeaten? They've got to play at Pittsburgh this Sunday. The game we'll have on CBS. But next Thursday, NFL Network only on Thursday Night Football. Browns Bengals. 2nd and 10. Brady down the field, turning around to make the catch. That kid you saw from Williamsville, New York, at the age of 5, Gronkowski for 24.
They love this play. They created 2 tight ends. One goes inside on the seam. The other one goes outside. Everybody in the league tries to duplicate it. Hard to do unless you got a tight end like Gronkowski, Chandler.
He's over 100 with his 6th catch. And now they don't even huddle as Lewis slips, gets to his feet, and the forward progress might be back near the line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to mark him back as a loss of 2. He's hit so far. Brady talking about his distribution. 7 wideouts, 7 passes to the tight ends. That's 6 to Rob Gronkowski, 1 to Chandler, and 7 to the running backs. Primarily that being Lewis. Second and 12. Pressure down the sidelines. It goes, and it's just out of reach for Lewis, who was trying to beat Grimes on the play.
Well, Brett Grimes probably going finally somebody that's my size out here to cover. You see him cover one-on-one against some of always the best receiver of the other team, Calvin Johnson, whatever. This week a little different. Julian Edelman, Dion Lewis. Good coverage, small window to throw it into.
A minute to go in the 3rd. A fast-moving 3rd quarter. 3rd and 12. Brady with time. Now just flips it in the direction of Lewis. And the Miami defense shuts down the Patriots near midfield, forcing a punt.
Yeah, coverage was really good down the field. They're going to make sure Cameron Wake, he couldn't get there, but they have a guy in the middle, made Tom Brady pull it down.
This is Brady's reaction. Meanwhile, Cameron Wake is still down on the field.
He got blocked by, on the outside, Michael Williams, the tight end. He was going to be double teamed and didn't see what happened. I know he got pushed way outside though. Well, just one of the reasons why, Jim, we've seen him. They try to pace his number of plays. They've kept him out. You know, anytime he's an explosive player. And when you have hamstring problems, which he did the first 4 weeks of the year, you have to worry about it.
Here he is, 91.
Yep, Michael Williams. Oh, yeah, right away you could see him pull up.
Well, now he has to be assisted to the sideline.
Well, that's a big loss for the football team. They've already lost Jawan James, the right tackle, which has affected a few plays here tonight. You know, when you have a backup tackle in there, defensive ends are going to take advantage of it.
This Miami offense, 2 series this half. They moved it down the field the first time for the touchdown. Second time it looked like they were going to kind of pick up right where they had left off the last drive before the Patriot defense stopped them. But do you see enough out of them right now to think that the Dolphins can do something here with about 16 minutes to go in the game?
I do. I think they're going to have they're going to get some chances to make those plays down the field. And you know, I'm not looking at this game in no way thinking this is locked up. The Patriots haven't won. So that drive gives you faith if you're a Dolphins fan.
There's Allen with his 5th punt of the night. And he's had some good ones pinning the Dolphins deep. 38 yards gets it done. As Tannehill and Miami will begin at the 11. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, Mike Carey on board here as well, along with Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold producing and directing Thursday Night Football. From the 12, Tannehill works the middle, and it's too steep. Dangerous throw in the direction of Landry.
Yep, little dangerous. Had to be careful with it. Had to get it over the top of Rob Ninkovich, so that's what made him throw it just out of the reach of Landry.
Look what's happening with Cameron Wake. Being taken inside. Second and 10. It's to Matthews. He gets out to about the 20, which will set up a 3rd and about 2. Tonight, 4 prospects try out for a chance to make it to training camp on undrafted. Then Football Town, Barrow, Alaska. The Whalers continue to fight for a playoff spot. 2-hit NFL Network original series tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network. Can the Dolphins pick up a first down here in the closing seconds of the 3rd quarter? We'll call it 3rd and 3. And that's good for the first to Matthews. And that'll run out time in quarter number 3. There was Tannehill. They also had Miller open on the left side, but he found Matthews. 22-7 Patriots after 3. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. 15 minutes to go. Belichick and the Patriots trying to steer the ship to shore here and pick up a 7th win in 7 games on the season. But Miami, new set of downs to start the quarter with a little swing pass over to Miller. And that side closed down by McCourty, and Butler held to only 3. Here's a little look at play distribution under Philbin when they would go with 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. That personnel grouping under Philbin only 7% of the time. Of course, Campbell, a former tight end, almost 40% of the time. And when he's gone to that grouping for Campbell, it's averaged over 8 yards a play, Phil.
Well, you said it, ex-tight end. He wants the team to be more physical. And if you want to accomplish that, Jim, you put more tight ends in the game. But being physical sure didn't work here tonight.
2nd and 7. That is another pass intercepted. But this time Harmon gets to his feet and has some help down the sideline before Tannehill comes in and makes the tackle off his own interception. Seemed to be a little miscommunication there.
Yeah, I thought you were going here. Instead, you went there. And as he threw the football, I think he was expecting Matthews to break outside. He kept going up the seam. And that is some catch by Harmon for the interception.
Well, you're not kidding.
But he was expecting the receiver, the inside receiver, to go outside. He didn't, and this is what you do when you're really upset with an interception as a quarterback. Got to be careful, but you go in there and try to make a tackle.
Second interception thrown tonight by Tannehill. And from the 15, it's Edelman for 5. Edelman's 4th catch.
Well, you see Tannehill and Rashard Matthews talking about that play. That's twice. I think he's targeting him and made throws and they've been intercepted. So,
boy, Harmon just laying out for that pick. You'd like to have your wide receivers be able to make catches like that, much less your safeties. 2nd and 5. There's Brady under pressure, and it's incomplete as he hits the ground. And we've got a Patriot lineman knocked down. It's Trey Jackson, the right guard. And he's got Sue in the area. Might have stepped on him too. Well, Trey Jackson is just now getting help to his feet. There was nothing sinister that happened on this play. He got tangled up with Sue and then got hit low by Olivier Vernon. And he immediately clutches that left knee. And now they're down to their last offensive lineman as Ryan Wendell will come in for him. They only dress 6 tonight. Already, of course, with Nate Solder on IR and Marcus Cannon inactive tonight because of a toe injury. Wendell, a very experienced player, will take over Jackson's position at right guard. 3rd and 5. As the pass to Edelman, who reaches across alertly for another touchdown for New England. Cashing in off the Harmon interception.
Wrong guy. Edelman to the outside. Really simple route. Everybody in the league runs it. Guy in the back of the end zone. Edelman hooks up. Somebody in the flat, and that's an awesome job of catching the football and staying off the ground as you score the touchdown.
And they'll confirm it. The knee was never down. The Patriots have just scored in a 27th straight quarter. They did not score in the first quarter in the opening game, a Thursday game it was against Pittsburgh, but every quarter after that they put up points. Harmon sets it up. Takeaway points for New England, ending with Edelman. Well, Moon over New England, New England over Miami. 29-7.
A little different atmosphere for this Miami team. A step up in talent, no question. Talked about it when we first started the game, Jim. Just that this New England team is tough. And they can grind it out physically and mentally for 60 minutes. We're seeing it again here tonight.
It's Landry with a good return. Gostowski got a hand on him and slowed him down, but one of the better returns you'll see against the special teams unit of the Patriots. A 50-yard run back. That stat we talked about before, consecutive quarters scored, 27 quarters, longest in the league in 10 years. Thursday Night Football now only on NFL Network beginning next Thursday. The first place Bengals take on the Browns. AFC North showdown Thursday Night Football. Again, 8 o'clock next Thursday, only on NFL Network. Off the big return by Landry from midfield. Pressure, Tannehill, ducking and down. Chung comes out of the secondary, and Ninkovich is on him as well, and a loss of 10.
Jason Fox, the right tackle. Ninkovich, here comes Chung. When there's nobody else back there, you got 5 linemen, hard to pick up an edge blitzer. New England taking advantage of the formation.
Miami gets to the line rather quickly before the Patriots were totally set, but it doesn't matter. Hightower is all over Tannehill, and back-to-back sacks by the Patriots.
Well, this is what happened to this team early in the year. 77, Billy Jenkins, the right guard, gets beat. They got behind. They start throwing the football, and the offensive line is just not ready to be able to protect down after down in obvious passing situations.
And now 3rd and 28. And pushback, Jonas Gray by Chung, his old teammate. And that series was a disaster for Miami. Back-to-back sacks on the field for barely a minute.
Well, you know, Jim, some of the things we talked about, they couldn't get outside. They're not a power running team, so that hasn't worked. I don't want to call them their gimmick plays, all the screens, the quick throws. We've seen none of that tonight. Why? Because the Patriots, they took them all away. They were going to make them throw it down the field in tight coverage. They've had some success, but not near enough.
That's Edelman stepping away from it and made the right decision. To your point, not fielding these punts deep.
Special teams are excellent here in New England.
We got an update now on Cameron Wake. Tracy, let's go down to you.
That's right, Jim. After further evaluation in the locker room, it is an Achilles injury for Cameron Wake, and he is out for the game. As for Patriots offensive lineman Trey Jackson, he is questionable with a left knee injury. Jim?
Okay. Could be rough news for the Dolphins. One of their star players is Blunt. Breaks it outside. Stiff arms Taylor. He's got 13. Puts Blunt up to 60 on the night on the ground.
Yeah, just, you know, we've said it so many times. This time even Julian Edelman gets in there and gets a block. But LeGarrette Blunt, so big, can run inside, but the ability just to bounce it out. And the Patriots, what do they do on the offensive side? It doesn't matter what game they play. Throw it every down or run. They just wear you down with everything they can do.
There's Blunt. And it looked like for a moment it might be a little too much congestion on the exchange, but they still able to dart ahead with Blunt for another 9.
It's pretty amazing. You come into the game, we're talking about what's the biggest advantage for the Miami Dolphins in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be the defensive line against the offensive line of New England.
Couldn't wait to see it. This is going to even things out maybe, and what a job by the Patriots. Josh McDaniels, the game plan, protecting a beat-up offensive line and still making it work very well.
2nd and 1. They're going to ride Blunt. Bring it inside 10 minutes before they have another snap. That's a first down carry. Sunday, the NFL on CBS brings out regional action. Many of you are going to see Cincinnati. Again, the Bengals unbeaten, taking on Pittsburgh. San Diego with Baltimore, Tennessee at Houston. Late, some of you will get the Jets at Oakland. All beginning at noon Eastern with JB and the crew on the NFL Today.
What a job. When you just watch what they do on the offensive side, we've said it many times, give a lot of credit to Bill Belichick over the years, seeing how the rule changes, the league, how it was, everything was turning towards the offensive side, and he's built his team around it.
Here's a pass down the field, and it's LaFell with the catch. Brady goes over 300 on the night with that completion. Well, that's the 7th time now that Brady's passed 300 yards against Miami in his career.
Sorry, Jim. Right down the seam. They're one of the best seam throwing football. So right down where the tackles and tight ends line up or in the slots. They do it 3 or 4 times a game. We saw it earlier with the big throw down the field, and there's one that time to LaFell. That's been a staple of the offense ever since Bill Belichick has been here.
From the 29, Brady. He's got Edelman again. Jumps away from the first hit, and he's down to the 10, and Brady's going to hurry him up to the line.
So many weapons. You know, you ever heard people talk about it and they go, Tom Brady just doesn't have all the skilled players around him that some of these other quarterbacks do in the NFL. And I just laugh, going, well, what game are you watching? Gronkowski. We see Edelman, all the unique running backs. And the one thing that they've done ever since he's been a quarterback here, Jim, the one thing, what's your greatest asset? Your quarterback. So Bill Belichick has tried to keep, has an offensive line in front of his greatest asset, and that's Tom Brady.
And he wants to play another 10 years, he just said recently. Here he is in trouble, and he's twisted down at the 16, and he's furious about it.
Never satisfied. And when you and I will watch the sack, the pocket finally collapses, and
Vernon got him.
Vernon gets him. But when you watch Tom Brady play ever since college at Michigan, it's always been in him, but that edge to be a fierce competitor.
Second and goal back at the 16. Edelman again with the touchdown catch.
Talked about Tom Brady, how he worked so hard on his mechanics to keep his arm youthful, throwing the ball the way he did, even as a young kid, like we've said a couple times tonight. Throwing as good as ever. Look how tall he stays and just rips it.
He's got a 4-touchdown night. Edelman on both of his touchdown catches gets contacted about the 2, but he still dives ahead and finds the goal line.
You know, he's like a golfer that's on the PGA Tour. You know, he's not satisfied with being out there. They have success. You want to keep working on that swing. That's what he's done with his throwing motion.
It's the 24th time in Brady's remarkable career. He's had a 4-touchdown night. You look at his level of play, Phil, at the age of 38. Again, he says he wants to play another 10 years. All this offseason hysteria about Deflategate, all the criticism, conjecture that came with it. And again, the NFL this week appealing that Judge Berman decision. Do you think just watching him play, now up to 20 touchdowns, only 1 interception on the year, has this whole thing raised his motivation, given him a bigger chip than you've ever seen in his career?
You know, it'd be hard for me to say, yeah, he's more motivated, Jim, because I think his motivation has been great ever since we've seen him in the league. But I think there's no doubt, I'm going to say it this way, more determination than I've ever watched. And, you know, you see it when he plays. I just saw him smile. It seems like I never see him smile on the sidelines, you know, but even after all this great success. But I see it in the interviews, when you watch him on TV. And
could he play another 10 years? Is it possible? Could he play to 48?
I don't think so. But listen, it's a great thing to say. He's just trying to tell everybody, I'm not near the end. And if Bill Belichick is still the head coach, and if Josh McDaniel stays here as the offensive coordinator, it's going to be a lot of good years ahead, I'll tell you that.
Here's Tannehill. Throw across the middle. That's Matthews for 8. Just 7 minutes remaining. Puts Tannehill over 200. No touchdowns, 2 picks.
Well, you know, not a great night for Ryan Tannehill, but there's no question he's their franchise quarterback down in Miami.
Picks up a first down to Jordan Cameron.
You know, you just see a team when you look at the Dolphins, Jim. We talked about it for the last few days. It's a team in transition. Dan Campbell takes over. They got to get everything organized. I think they got the quarterback. There's no doubt. They gave him the contract. You got to build around him and give him more opportunities to make throws.
There's an incompletion. You know, the AFC East, now that the Patriots are on their way now to having defeated the first go-round in the division, all three of the opponents. Since 2001, the quarterbacks to win the AFC East, there have only been two others. And guess what? The two others, the same guy. Chad Pennington is a Jet and is a member of the Dolphins in 08.
You know, as I see Tom Brady on the sideline, an offense that was worried about certain things coming in this game tonight.
It's Tannehill. He finds James Gray. That's a nice cut to pick up the first down. Now, you know, you got the Jets at 4-2, so you know there's certainly a long way to go in this season. And the Jets played the Patriots really tight last Sunday, led going into the fourth quarter, but having won against the Bills and the Dolphins tonight, the Jets last week, with another round to go against all the division foes. But they're on their way at this point. That pass is caught right on the mark there with Stills. You know, it's 7-0. This is a team trying to win the division for a 7th consecutive time. That hasn't happened in the league since back in the early 70s with the Los Angeles Rams.
Beautiful throw, that last play by Tannehill to Stills.
From the 28, Hightower. And Tannehill got away just in time. And it's knocked down out of the hands of Landry. Butler, Harmon, McCourty. There were 3 Patriots defending.
You know, Dante Hightower and Jamie Collins, number 54, comes around the edge. Big linebackers who can stop the run. But what we're seeing more of, Jim, is them playing defensive end, especially Hightower, blitzing up the middle. This Patriots defense, you know, last week they had their hands full against the Jets, who are a team to look out for, no question. But they're going to get better. And I thought before the season, you just watched them in the preseason, this team had a chance to be every bit as good as the team that won the Super Bowl last year.
2nd down and 10. Flushed out and thrown away. It's been an odd start to the year in a lot of ways around the league, Phil, when you consider that we have the most teams undefeated through week 7 since the 70 merger, yet we have the fewest number of teams that have a winning record. There are only 6 other teams with a winning record. So you've got these 5. Patriots are going to be the first now to get to 7-0 here tonight. Bengals at Pittsburgh. Green Bay and Denver. They'll be playing in the Mile High City on Sunday. As Carolina will be hosting Indianapolis. 3rd and 10. Over to Matthews. Trying to set some blockers up for him over there, but the Patriots help bust it up. Your 4th down coming up.
Yeah, of course they're going to go for it. Field goals does nothing. And tell you, you think they were rolling, everything was all excitement. Hey, we were excited about the Miami Dolphins tonight, and reality hit them here tonight. You see how far they are away from being a championship team.
4th and 5. They'll keep the drive going as Sims hauls it in. Wasn't going to be the easiest position to be in because it's a complicated week anytime you play the Patriots, and when you have the short week.
Yeah, well, we could.
On top of it, you're traveling.
Got a new defensive coordinator, so that's tough on him, getting ready for an offense that does so many different things. New head coach, been on the job for a couple weeks.
To the end zone and just out of reach for Stills. So after tonight, the East looks like this. Miami and New England meet for the 2nd time, week 17 on January the 3rd. But you look at the Dolphins, 0-3 in the division. Taken down by McCourty. Mayo was giving chase also.
McCourty once again off the outside. It was Patrick Chung one time. They switched positions. This time McCourty comes, same blitz. Nobody there to block him, gets the sack.
Yeah, that's the 5th sack registered by the Patriot defense. And now 3rd and 23. Down by Logan Ryan, who had an interception earlier in this game.
You know, they lost Jarrell Rivas. Everybody thought, boy, this is going to be such a completely different team. What will they do? I think they got better up front, and they play so much of this type of coverage, Jim, where they just play man-to-man, and they're getting better at this as the year goes along. That's what you have to do in this league now. If you can't cover and knock down passes like that with the quarterbacks and receivers we see around the league, you're going to be in big trouble.
They've got to get all the way to the 7 for a first. 4th down play. They're after him again. Tannehill throws it toward the end zone. Jet ball knocked down. And the Patriots will take over on downs. Harmon back there. Rookie Justin Coleman as well. Thursday night football, again only on NFL Network starting next week. The Bengals and the Browns will bring it to the NFL Network. Garoppolo is in at quarterback. That's White at running back. And Jimmy Garoppolo in his 2nd year out of Eastern Illinois takes over as Brady retires for the evening. Another stellar performance, Phil.
Yep, I mean, just a terrific performance. And, you know, I have a chance, and you do too, to talk to the coaches and players. And, you know, we felt the great concern from the coaches of the Patriots about the matchups which we talked about. And does it really matter, Jim, when you talk about the Patriots? No matter what happens, they're going to score. You got to find a way to score 30 points to have a chance to beat them.
Offside, number 78. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
To your point on this 30-point discussion, you got to put up 30. They put up 28 in the first game against Pittsburgh, and every game now after that, they've scored at least 30, more than 30.
You know, you and I sit around and talk about what gives us some keys to the game and everything. And my first key for the Miami Dolphins is what? How do you score over 30? Because no matter what you do to this Patriots offense, they figure it out during the game, and they find the matchups that they want, and they exploit them.
2nd and 4, that's White. Had a prominent role in the game last week. And he's knocked back for a loss of 1. You start looking down the line at the Patriots' schedule. They got some games, the likes of at Denver. We're going to see them down at the New York Giants. They've got a game at the New York Jets. But this is a team that already the whispers are out there. It's just going to be like that team of a few years ago that went through the regular season.
They're not going to stop after this game, those whispers, that's for sure.
Coming up next, the Mazda post-game show. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game. Patriots get the mini bye this weekend, and then they'll be back at home a week from Sunday hosting the Redskins. That'll be the national late afternoon game on CBS, November 15th at the New York Giants. Often the nemesis for New England.
Yeah, I would say that's a good word for it.
Buffalo comes here at Denver.
You ever notice, just watching the Patriots sideline, just watching Tom Brady, Thursday night football, we hear it constantly. It's such a grind for the guys to get ready, but they all say the same thing. Boy, it's going to be great to get the weekend off. And just think, when you win, man, that just makes the weekend of course, it makes it much, much sweeter.
3rd and 5. Garoppolo hands it off to White. And he's stacked up by the Dolphins who will force him to punt, and one last chance for the Dolphins offense to try to do a little something here, move the football a little bit. But they've had so far, Miami, only 14 yards rushing. And that would be, if it remains at that figure, it would be the third lowest total rushing in a game in Miami's history. This is coming off of, well, Miller alone last week had 175 and a half. There's another punt fielded back deep from the 5-yard line.
I don't know if it says something about the Patriots defense or the two teams they played before. The Miami Dolphins, that is.
57-yard punt. Brady's night. First to Gronkowski on the opening drive. Lewis, who had, especially in that first half, a huge part of things. Then twice finding Edelman in the second half. And Edelman, you know, he moved out to Los Angeles so that he could get maybe some practice reps in the offseason with Brady, and quite a chemistry was formed this summer. Edelman and Amendola joined Brady up at a vacation home in Montana, and they've worked running routes starting at 6 in the morning at altitude, extreme altitude.
I would say this: if you're a quarterback in the NFL and you kind of watch this game, all the quarterbacks watch each other. There's a lot to learn from Tom Brady, and the fact is, you can keep your skill level high as you get older. Tom Brady, 38, and you know that's what you got to do. You got to keep working at your craft. And what makes you successful? He's a great quarterback because he throws the football so well, among many other things.
The Stills catch and a first down. And again, the Mazda post-game show will come up. All the interviews and analysis of tonight's game. And here we go, closing out seconds here. Daniels pass, tipped up in the air and incomplete. We'll have the Browns at the Bengals next week.
Yeah,
and if I may borrow a little line that was used around here one time, it's for us on to Cincinnati.
Here we go. You know, the talking about the Bengals, looking forward to seeing them next week. What a difference getting some of their players back that they didn't have in the playoff game we did last year when they played the Indianapolis Colts. Their offense is maybe not quite as explosive or as good as the Patriots has been this year, but not far behind.
Is Jonas Gray racing up the middle? Might want to go out of bounds if they wanted to run another play, but that'll do it. Pick up a big gain with that last one. But of little consequence, as Belichick and the Patriots now in the last 4 meetings here at Gillette against Miami have outscored them by nearly 100. 132 to 37 over the last 4 years here.
Later. Okay, guys.
Edelman tonight with 7 catches, 81 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I know.
Yep. Everybody contributes. When you talk about this Patriots football team on both sides of the ball,
Oh, that's what it was? I got you, man.
start looking down at all the people that caught passes tonight. 3 different runners carried the ball.
On Willie McGinnis night, as Belichick went over to congratulate him, one of his favorite players on entering the franchise Hall of Fame tonight. All right, Tracy, let's send it down your way again.
Well, thanks a lot. And with Julian Edelman, and 4-touchdown night for Brady, 2 of those touchdowns to you in the second half. What can you say about the chemistry you two have together?
We got some chemistry, but you know, we got chemistry with everyone. Everyone's out there producing. JoJo made some big plays coming off of PUP. Gronk being Gronk, having a little dirty out there. Dion, he's doing well. So it was a good team win. Defense had some turnovers. We got to get better on 3rd down, but it was good.
How about the way this team came out in the short week against a really confident Miami team coming in?
It was good. It was good. We knew we had a tough battle. I mean, these guys have been playing very confident. They've been playing tough for the new coach, and you know, it was about preparation, getting in there and going in and doing everything you could to try to out-prepare them. And I think, you know, we prepared well.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy, you heard her ask about that chemistry with Brady. They didn't know each other as kids, but they grew up not even 10 minutes apart south of San Francisco. San Mateo for Tom, Redwood City for Julian. Their two hometowns just minutes away from the site of Super Bowl 50 on February 7th in Santa Clara. 36-7 is the final. The Mazda postgame show is coming up. We're back with more after this.